Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Welcome if you are new. I'm Stacy and today we are going to be working on Hahnemuhle Velour paper. This is a pastel paper. You can use it for other things if you wish, but it is for oil and chalk pastel. This one has 10 different colors. You can see those right here, and they are the black, of course, and then there's the white, this gray, and each one is backed. They feel like sticker paper, but it's not. This brown, a couple different browns, and they vary just a skosh. A deeper gray, this bright green, this beautiful yellow, another gray, and then this one, which I already used, which was a soft yellow, kind of cream color, which I've used for these two paintings back last year. And they kind of just live in here. They're getting banged around a bit, so I'm going to have to fix that. This paper is 24 by 32 centimeters or 9.4 by 12.6 inch. So it's fairly large size. You can cut these down. So if you do get this paper, it is a little pricey. I'll have all the links below for you for everything that I'm using. If you do get this paper, you can cut it down because it is a little bit expensive. So I have out that, and velour paper, if you don't know, is velvety. It is actually textured, and it has a soft, I don't know if you can tell on camera. Stand up and see if I can get this to, it has a soft, can you hear that? You know, like that velvety furniture that your grandparents used to have? That's what it reminds me of. It is a beautiful surface to work on. It's little fibers, little hairy fibers. All right, I also have out my Prismacolor new pastels. These are a hard pastel. They're square. They're wonderful. I have the set. Mine are in this now because I like them this way. I took them out of the big box, put them in the drawer. I can pull the drawer out and they're just ready to use. And the blending tools that I use for these are in here as well. And then these are my Soho. The round ones are Soho. And the square ones, I don't remember what those are. I think they're just extra ones from art boxes that I've sprinkled into the correct color families for the most part. This is kind of a disaster right now because I've been in and out of it. So there's that out, and then there is my, I pulled out my pan pastels as well. This is my collection. This is all I own currently. I would like to have the full set, but that is not in the wallet. I also pulled out 2 cards because I don't know which one I want to paint. The palettes are pretty similar, right? The only exception being this one's more pink and this one has a bit of yellow in it and some softer colors. The backs of the cards, we've got purple, more of a reds, salmons kind of thing going on here. More of a black, purple, raspberry, marigold kind of thing going on here. I really think this would look striking on this black paper, but I am dying to do this. Just the clouds. Decisions. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do this one. Now these are color cube cards. We are going to pull out colors to go with the card. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this way, make sure I'm in frame. Make sure you guys can actually, whoa, sorry about that. See what's going on the paper. There we go. And I'll set all the colors I'm using over on this side on a tissue. That is what all of these colors will be sitting on. I'm going to pull out, do I want? I haven't tried these on this yet. I don't remember using them in my few videos that I've done. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out this purple and perhaps this purple because I might on the black it might read nice. And then raspberry. Oh, it's not really raspberry. Put this cover back on. Ooh, you know what would look cool in this? Is some gold. So I'm going to pull out this gold. It's a shimmery one. I could use the dioxazine for the marigold. It's actually pretty close, but it feels more mustard yellow to me, so I'm not going to do that. So let's set, ooh, sorry about that. Let's set these aside since I'm not going to be using those. Set those over there. And then we'll come into these trays and grab out our golds. So I'm thinking this one. Let's put a tissue down real quick. This one. And then I need a pale pink. So I'm feeling this one. And then, yeah, I feel like that will work. And then instead of a black, because the paper is black, I'm going to grab out this gray, this blue-gray color, and see how that works out for us. And then I'm going to just set these aside in case I need to grab out of them. I may or may not use these. We'll see. We shall see. Let's pull this over here. Pull all of our colors over here so that they are out of the way. Now with the, I feel like an orange, a red and an orange, right? A raspberry red and an orange. I didn't pull those out. I got excited. So raspberry red, this guy, yeah. And kind of an orangey red, this one. I don't like this color at all, but we'll use it. It'll be fine. Don't get excited. For that blood orange color, I feel like this might be a little, we'll go with it. We'll go with it. There we go. And I will grab out of here, I'm also going to grab a white. And I also have out my, you'll see these pop up at the video, my blending tools that live in this cup. And then I also have out my pencils in case I need them for refining. And everything is pastels. Okay. So. Is that good? Oh, sorry about the camera shake. Let me make sure that's tight. I will try not to bump the table. Try. Maybe I'll put that arm down on my chair. All right, let's dive in. Let us dive in. So this is what we're going to be painting. If you would like to take a screenshot of this, this is a color cube card. I love them. I think they're pretty wonderful. And my paper has been bumped around and moved across the country and loaded and unloaded into drawers and traveling bins. So just use a lint roller to get the little fine hairs off. This is the back of the card. So it gives you your ranges of colors and the names of your colors. And these color codes are colored pencil color codes. If you want to pop those into a search and look those up, you can. I'm going to pop this up on my little mini tripod. Set it out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. And we are going to start with, scoot the chair around a little bit. I think I'm going to start with this pink to get in a skyline, a touch over half. This is voiceover Stacy. I sped this up 2.5 times just because it did take me a little over an hour, close to an hour and a half to do this whole piece to the point where I stopped. I do feel like I could have gone a little farther when I'm at the end, but Also, I feel like if I go farther with it at the end, I'm just going to make it muddy. So I'm going in with the super pale pink to start, and it's reading white. I'm not digging that because I was shooting for pink for that skyline, and I am struggling. It has been a long time since I've done a pastel piece, and I'm just struggling. I'm too stiff, and I'm too in my own head to create in a free kind of way. And this paper kind of lends itself to an impressionistic kind of feel, a less exacting feel. I was showing you there that the pan pastels, sorry I was yawning, the pan pastels with the wand on this paper, maybe not a great choice. They do work better on a smoother surface. Right now I'm going in with my Sohos, which are a medium firm pastel. Something a little softer would be better with this paper, as it's very textured, with a dense kind of, it's just a dense, low pile, talking like it's carpet, fibers. It's very fibrous, and it catches the pastel. And one of the good things is it catches the pastel, and the pastel doesn't really go anywhere. Once it's in the fibers of the paper, it's there. You don't get a lot of shed from this kind of paper like you do with a smooth surface paper, and it does smudge less terribly, I've discovered. I'm going in with all the colors in this sky and just struggling. I'm dissatisfied with it on every level. I'm not getting the colors I want on the black paper, and I did choose this picture because I wanted something vibrant on the black paper, something with bold color. I'm kind of glad I didn't pick the bird, because that would have deepened my frustration level. At least with this I can loosen up a little bit in the end and kind of relax a bit. I'm trying very hard to make this painting of the reference photo match exactly, and that's not the point. And when I create, that's not the point. Realism, exact realism is not my jam all the time. So you'll see me jumping back and forth, back and forth. Ooh. I'm not getting that pink to orange to yellow ratio, that smooth blend that I'm looking for. So I'm trying to go in with pink, get a base tone of the pink in. Maybe that will help, and help the other colors layer on top in a better way. And it sort of works a little bit, but I'm too stiff. I'm just way too stiff and too concerned with getting the colors right instead of being concerned with getting the values right. So I jump around kind of a lot with the colors. I'm the orange to the red, and I pull out a couple more oranges because the one I chose isn't right. And this is a new pastel pink. It's the magenta, which is better. It's going down a little bit better, and it's kind of pushing the other color out of the way a little bit, just because it's such a hard pastel. And the whole time I'm doing this, I'm just too stiff, and I'm too in my own head. Once again, I haven't drawn or painted all day today, so I probably should have done a couple of practice pieces on like just regular paper. I have tons of pastel paper, and that would have loosened me up a little bit to dive into this in a more relaxed fashion. I'm trying a different color of yellowy orange. Once again, this is a new pastel, trying to see if it will blend and change that tone of that orange. I just don't dig the tone of the orange on the black paper at all. And then here I am trying to get that bold line in again and get that gradient between the water and the sky and have it fuzz out appropriately, like how it looks in the photo, instead of just rolling with it and doing what I want and just being creative. And using the reference photo as a guide instead of a Bible. Lots of back and forth, and I really work on this one little spot too long, thinking too hard, trying to go in with a new pastel in a brighter, lighter yellow, and it's too hard. It's just pushing the other pastel out of the fibers, so I push it back in. And I'm tapping because I'm thinking. Let's go in with the wand. This is a blending wand from Pan Pastel Collections, and I'm going to try and get in those clouds, those darker corner clouds that look fluffy and rolling like cotton candy. And it sort of works. I'm sort of pleased with it, and then I'm trying to blend the white with the purple, and then the white and the pink and the purple to see if I can get the correct color that I want. And I give up on that, and I go and grab the pink again, and because I've got these areas right here are too dark, and I want them to feel lighter and brighter. So I'm skimming in more pink and seeing what that does. It's very here I am trying to loosen up. Let's just loosen up. Let's just throw down some color with some bold marks, and then I get tight again, and I'm trying to go in with these new pastels to get the sweep of the clouds right, and get the tone of the color right, and I'm just very dissatisfied. I'm despising this piece right out of the gate. But I muscle through. I always, if I'm working on a piece that I don't like, and I genuinely do not like how this piece is turning out at this point, it's in its very, very ugly phase, and I feel like maybe if I had worked a little bit on the water as well, and not just the sky. It's hard to do that with pastel though, because it does transfer. I tend to work with pastel, I tend to work from the left corner across the top of the page, and then, especially with something like this, with this kind of paper, do that upper half first, and then then worry about the bottom part. And I tend to work left to right with pastels. And I'm trying very hard right now to get in wispy clouds, a stretch of cloud underneath that large cloud, and some distant clouds, and whatever this shape is that's going on in the very, very background. I'm just doing everything I can think of to do to make this look right, and super unhappy. And here I am, stopping and getting a couple more colors. I have out several colors of the Pan Pastels. I have the gold, the violet, the light violet, the white, and magenta. The gold was a spur of the moment choice that wasn't really effective, so I don't even use it again. Now I'm deciding, since I don't like the piece and I'm completely dissatisfied, I'm gonna try to work on the sky again a little bit, just a little, and I grab out the other one, and I'm grabbing the softer pink color that I have out, thinking that will give me that cloud effect I'm looking for. Or honestly, all I really need to do is just relax and stop being so stiff. Now I'm going in with magenta over the top because I've lost the darks up there at the top. And I'm trying to get that feeling of the cloud rolling down into the picture. Like it's either rolling down in or rolling up and out. There's a lot going on in this sky. And now I'm using the magenta, and I'm just going for it. I am just, now I'm getting painterly. Now I'm relaxing, and I'm just throwing color down in the correct direction and being very painterly about it. Very loose and less stressed out. Throw in magenta everywhere, and now I'm gonna throw it over this pale, pale pink and a touch of orange and see if that works better. And I'm back to the pale pink and trying to get that soft, bright area right there. It's brighter than it reads right now. And I'm trying to soften out the bottoms of the clouds over there. And then I've got two purples from my Soho set, a darker and a more medium tone. And I'm hoping this will give me the clouds that I want, those wispy, streaky clouds. It sort of works a little bit. I'm thinking in my head, less tight, more painterly, go faster. And I did. I'm going faster with my strokes and thinking less, just dropping in color where it feels right instead of trying to overthink the process. That yellow spot, that bright yellow spot in the reference photo is not reading here, and I'm trying so hard. And it's not effective at all. I don't feel. The black paper is way too dark for such a bright white spot to be done in the tones that I chose. I'm back to the pink again. It broke a little bit, so I just ignore those crumbles on the side. And I'm trying to get this cloud to look right. The top of it is wisping up into the other bigger cloud at the top of the picture. And now the yellow is bothering me again. It's much too brown. But I figure I need the yellow to be bleeding in and fading into the other areas, so I'm going to try that. And now I have that super pale pink again, and that didn't work out. And I'm just, super struggling. Super struggling. I have the sky about to where I want it, so I'm just going to move down. I'm going to leave it alone, and I'm not very happy with this piece, so I'm just rolling with it. I'm rolling with the punches and seeing what I can do. Can I save it? Can I not? I honestly was thinking this isn't going to make it up as a video. It's terrible. It's awful. I'm having a not great time painting. I'm struggling so hard. And here in the water area, less is more would have been better. I kind of go hog wild after this. Like, I'm trying to stutter the brush against the fibers of the paper and getting a too regular of a shape. And I'm trying to make it feel like the water is wavy but without white caps, and putting in this bright spot way too low because the rock that I'm negative painting around a rock fixture, a chunk of rock right now, and it's too low, which is fine. I fix it later, but still struggling with how to get the water to feel like it's moving and how to get it to feel like ocean waves. It's like I've forgotten how to use pastels. I do a lot better on a smoother paper, and I think the pan pastels were probably not a good choice on this kind of paper. They're more for a smooth paper. You can get some effects with these, like I think the white caps, if this was supposed to be a rolling waves kind of situation, that could have worked. But that's not what I was trying for. I was trying for that dark, just gently rolling in, barely white capped wave situation right here. Little ones, little skinny ones, and I'm failing miserably because they're way too big and they're way too bright. Yeah, it's a hot mess. I'm definitely in the ugly phase of this painting right now, and completely unhappy with it, like a lot. So I'm just gonna keep throwing stuff down, see if I can salvage it, see if I can work this out. And these wands, the fabric of the wands against this paper is just not working, and I'm trying so hard to make it work. I need to stop. I'm not stopping, but I need to stop and put those down and just let the pan pastels be. They're not for this. I tried. It is not the way. This is not the way. I've spoken. Now here I'm just skimming in some colors to try to get that effect of glow, like the smooth reflection of the light on water, and make it feel like it's glistening. And I'm back and forth about it. It's the wrong color again, and I keep going in with that pale pink, and it keeps reading white and dissatisfying me. And, you know, what's the definition of madness? Because, yeah. And I decide I need the orange in there, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to pop in some orange and see how that flows. See, it's not the right color. It's just not right. And so I'm popping in the magenta to get that gradient of the glow with all the colors in it. And now I'm working with the purple to try to get this wave to not be so bright and bold. And it's kind of sort of needs to be going diagonally, rolling in diagonally from one corner to the bottom corner. Yeah, just not winning. So this is the darker purple, and I throw that back there, and it does help with the background and push it back a little bit. Jumping back in with that orange again, because this corner is very glowy and bright and vibrant in the reference photo, and reflecting those sky colors. And since the sky colors are reflecting in the water, I'm deciding to adjust them again. If they're so vibrant in the water, they need to be vibrant in the sky, is my brain on just overdrive. I'm like, all right, maybe if I put in the rocks, maybe if I just start trying to put in the rocks, this will start feeling like it's coming together. And I'm going in with this weird blue-gray color, which was a wrong choice, all like right out of the gate. It doesn't go, it's not dark enough, it's not black. What I need is black. And I'm not digging the feel of it on the page at all. So I'm sifted through my drawers, and this is a piece of black charcoal, and see how it pops that black back like it is the paper again, which is amazing. So now I can get those rocks in, a little bit of shine on the tops of those rocks, and then yeah, I'm just gonna go hog wild and put in all the rocks that I can possibly squeeze in at this point. See how it goes. I'm a little more satisfied with this at this point. I'm feeling like, all right, maybe. We'll see. A little bit of landmass back here, just a touch, and a little bit of landmass back there, just a touch. Deviating from the reference photo a bit, throwing in a little bit of broken line back there, sweeping in some dark into those ocean waters to kind of make that feel like a rolling, undulating, I guess is a better word, water. And that feels much better. It feels like a body of water against the sky now. And now more rocks. And I'm going to cut into real time Stacy here in a minute, and then cut back over to voiceover after that here very shortly. gonna be quiet for a little minute as this breaks into the other clip. Okay, I got my Mungyo artist handmade soft pastels. I've had these for a couple years. They are a gorgeous set. And they are fat monsters, and they are very, very soft, like super soft. So let us go in with one of these and see how she does. Okay, and here we go with the Mungyo colors. These are super soft, and they go down over the top of the firmer pastels on this paper really beautifully. I'm really starting to feel very confident about this piece and very happy about this piece at this point. I'm getting those bright yellows that I wanted, and I'm barely touching the paper, skimming gently over the surface, like very, very lightly, feather touch. Because these pastels are super soft, you don't need a lot of pressure to get that beautiful pigment. And I'm like really starting to vibe with this piece at this point. I forgot about these pastels, that I had them, until I was pretty much at a point of quitting with this piece. I took a break, I went to the bathroom, I came back, and I was looking at it, I was like, ooh, I have soft pastels, like super soft ones. These handmade Mungyos are amazing. I would love some more handmade pastels. They're really nice to work with. I'm throwing in some magenta to get some drama in that sky, sweeping in down there on the water line and in the water, get that glow to carry that color through the piece. And here's where I start feeling like, yeah, all right, okay, not so bad, not so bad, not fabulous by any means, but not so bad. I could probably put this up now on the YouTubes. I've got a brighter purple. I slam that in a little bit, and then I'm going in with that newer, more bright orange, and I broke a piece off there trying to soften the edge of it because it was scraping the paper and making shapes I didn't like. But that is a more vibrant orange. It goes down so nicely. It's so, once again, it just barely skimming the surface of the paper, and look at how much color it's snagging. It's so great. Yeah, I'm digging it a lot. A little bit of light pink to try and get that movement of the waves again. A little bit of froth going on, a little bit of shine back there. Because we do have more pink reflections on, more pink purples on that darker side, and this light side is more oranges and magentas and yellows. So I'm starting to vibe with it a little bit. Again, that wave is just bugging me. Put it down and then push it into the paper to see if it'll soften a bit. But really the trick is to go gently with these super soft pastels and let them do the work for me. Now I grab my black, because I do have a beautiful black in this set, and I'm going to go in and skim over all my rocks, and I do take a little bit of liberty with the shapes. I'm kind of rolling with what I feel and guesstimating how many rocks I want to put in. I don't put them all in. They're not all the correct shape, so I do take liberties with that in comparison to the reference photo, but I don't feel like it's a detriment at all to the piece. I'm trying to get a little bit of shadow going in over the glistening water, so that the stones look like they have a little bit of cast shadow against the water on the one side. And basically scribbling in rockish type shapes. Just kind of rolling with it. And I decided to put in a little bit of rocks back here, another little formation. It could be a dark part of the waves. It's however you interpret it. For me, it's just more rocks and a little bit more depth in the waves. And then I'm skimming the black over the back here because it's much too vibrant to be distant like it is. So I kick that back a little bit with the black. And then I'm trying to get that rolling, undulating wave situation feeling again. Line direction matters. So that's where my brain went. Line direction matters. Get it together. What are you doing? A little bit of brighter purple back there. And then that one little wave is just really bothering me right there. I don't know why. Then I decided to pull the purple and make it kind of merge into the other colors a little bit here to make it feel correct, and the colors to, I don't know, just to make it feel right. And I'm deciding, well, the rocks do have a bit of glow on them, and I only do a couple. I should have done them all, but I'm still feeling pretty frustrated, so this is what it is. I'm not digging this at all, but I'm going to stop here. I'm going to peel the tape. I usually like these the next day after I've stepped away, and because right now I'm really despising this piece. I haven't done a pastel piece in quite a long time, so I think jumping into something so much right out of the gate after not doing any pastel work for quite some time was a bad plan. But you guys can let me know what you think in the comments below, how you feel about this. I'm trying not to touch the black with my dirty fingers. There we go. Tap off the bits, lay it back down. All right, so, I mean, it's not, in the camera, sorry about the shaking, stop shaking. In the camera, it's not bad. That distance from it really helps. This paper does lend to a, a very pastel, fuzzy, impressionistic kind of feeling, rather than an exacting kind of feeling. And I know there are artists that do create like very exacting pieces, but at any rate, let's do a little bit of close-ups on what this looks like. Oh yeah, I mean, I love the blends of colors, and I really do think I took the black, put the black back in there. Now I am, to do that, I did start with a piece of charcoal. This Mungio black, all these chunky ones are very, very soft, and they are a delight to use, but I usually do reserve them for finishing touches at the end because they are so very soft. What's that piece of orange? I don't want to, I'll be wondering why it's the harder pieces are hard. So yeah, so that's where it's at. I did speed this up. I hope you enjoyed the time lapse of it. And the voiceover. I'll do those tomorrow. But for right now, as things stand right now, I'm not loving it, but I'm not despising it. It is supposed to be the ocean and the sky at sunset. Again, here is our reference photo. And then there's my take on it. So not terrible, right? I feel like the water in the foreground could have been more vibrant. I'm not going to mess with it anymore, though, because this video is already too long, so I'm going to just stop right there. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that jazz. Bye.